Hi folks, welcome to Blackbeard's Detailing YouTube channel. I'm Ross, and on this vlog we have this Beetle which is in with us to get the soft top all sorted. So it's got the usual build up of algae and moss, and it's just looking a wee bit tired and faded. So I'm going to give this roof a full decon, get into all the brushes, scrub all that horribleness out, get it inside, get it dried, and we'll re-dye it. So yeah, hopefully you join us for the process. So that's the roof all been covered in a citrus APC, basically just a one-on-one dilution to that, because it's obviously really heavily soiled. So that's been left to sit on it for ages, and then I've gave the rest of the car a safe wash over, just with the overspray going down to that. We don't want it sitting on the bodywork the length of time I'm going to be actually working on the roof. So it's essentially that's been put through the sprayer bottle, just to make it a bit easier, because the hands will be a bit sore when you start to squeeze this trigger to cover the full roof. So next up, we're on to the drill brush. So it's a medium drill brush. It's not too hard, so it's not going to damage the fibres of the actual roof itself, but it's hard enough that it can actually agitate and start to lift and get the rubbish out it. One of the big problems we always see is people try to tackle it themselves, and they go really close with the pressure washer thinking they're actually doing the right thing, but what they do is with the edges of the pressure washers they damage the fibres on the roof, and you start to get these wee trail lines where the pressure washer goes over. So anytime we're going near the pressure wash or near the roof with the pressure washer, we need to turn the pressure right down, which I've done with the Kanzel. So next up, again, drill brush time. So I'm going to go over this plenty of times. I have doused it in snow foam just to keep that the roof nice and wet and keep the product doing its job whilst I'm going over it. Since the sun's came out now, so we want to make sure this stays wet and doesn't dry while we're working on it. So I'm going to get cracked on and start on the drill brush. So when we're doing this, nice and steady, not too heavy pressure, and just let the tool do the work. You can probably see it's starting to go that kind of green way as it's lifting all that embedded dirt off of the actual roof itself. And then into all the edges. So that's essentially the process. We need to do that over the full roof, do that a couple of times, and that should bring out any of that rubbish which is embedded in the dirt, embedded in the roof, and get it nice and clean, ready to get re-dyed. So the last stage of the wash that we're going to do is just thoroughly flush through the roof. We want to make sure any of the wash chemicals that we've used are rinsed out thoroughly, because it can make a wee impact on the dye. So a good 5 minutes of flushing fresh water through, and yeah, that'll be us. We're ready to get this dried and get it inside. So the beauty is the sun is shining, so I'll dry it outside using the forced air dryer, and then we'll bring it inside, get all the heaters on, get a big air moving fan over it, and then it's just a waiting game till we get this completely bone dry. One of the other wee things we're going to do is we're going to check all the drainage holes. So there's a wee drainage hole just here which is completely blocked through, so just using a wee plastic poker and give that a wee clean, and there we go. We've just blocked there, so all the water that normally sits in pools here goes down and is now filtering down that wee drainage hole. Well, that's the Beetle roof all washed thoroughly and is dried through. Thankfully the sun has been belting down, so that's really helped to dry out the roof. So we're going to get on with the dyeing stages now. Can point out before we do any of the kind of dyeing work, these darker lines you see, we'll still see when the dye is applied. That's the crease lines in the actual fabric itself. So when the roof's been folded down, that's just, it's like creases in your clothes. Those are wee darker lines, so they don't go away when they're being re-dyed. So it's just so you know, because after the pictures and once the dye, everything's all on, you'll still see those wee lines. So it's not like streaky marks or extra dye that's on these bits. That's just how it is when the roof goes down and the roof gets folded. It's the same as well along the top, usually where the support bars are, just because the fabric gets creased and gets pressed together. That's just natural with the kind of fabric roofs. So we're going to crack on, get the roof dyed now, and yeah, I shall set up a wee time lapse for that. Well folks, it's now Monday and the Gtechniq Smart Fabric has eventually arrived, so we're going to get this the roof all sealed. So Josh is back in with us, and I'm basically just going to douse the entire roof in this Smart Fabric. We've got about 750ml, which is more than enough to cover the roof. Josh is going to follow along the QD, just wipe off any overspray. You could drape the car, cover it, so you'll not get the overspray on it, but it's not needed. Since Josh is there, nothing's going to be sitting on the car resting on it, so he'll just follow along behind and we'll get this roof all sealed. It's looking absolutely brilliant compared to how it was when it came in. Again, as I say, these the ridge lines where all the support kind of structures are, and the folds look darker. In person, the camera really picks it up, and even in the phone, it looks so much darker. In person, it doesn't. and it's again, there's no way to avoid these. It's the fabric itself, when it folds over on it, it rubs against each other, and it basically just starts to lift it and ruffles it a wee touch. So it does look darker, but in person it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm sure the customer is going to be delighted. So we're going to crack on, we're going to get smart fabric on this, and then leave it sitting overnight, and then it'll be good to get collected by the customer. So that's the entire roof now been absolutely doused in it, to the point at which when we're spraying, it's now no longer saturating into the fabric, it's just sitting on the top of it. And yeah, we know that that's it, thoroughly covered. So I'm going to leave this overnight, and then tomorrow morning we'll sprinkle a wee bit of water on it, and we should be able to see that the smart fabric's doing its job and repelling the water. And then this is one very protected Beetle roof. Well folks, that's the following morning, and that's the Beetle roof all completely dried. Check out these wee water droplets. So that's us dumped water on, and it's just sitting on there. So I shall get my lovely assistant Josh. Could you grab that and then just dump? So it's just water, just open it up and pour it. And then and this gives you an idea of just how effective a smart fabric is. Just dump the full. Just dump the full lot. So there we go. Water all sitting on. Droplets, obviously if you were driving, they would all be running off the car. So yeah, really happy with that. So we're now going to give that a dry, and then that's us now finished with the Beetle. So thank you very much for watching. If you've liked the video, leave us a wee comment, give us a wee like, and consider subscribing to the channel. Cheerio bye.